What's going on, guys? Just wanted to come to you today and film another little video. I had an idea that I thought could help benefit y'all, and that is fishing sunny conditions versus cloudy conditions. As fishing my whole life, I've come to realize that fish change every day, no matter the conditions. They change every single day. There's hardly ever a day that you go fishing and the next time you go out, the fish are doing the same exact thing, and that is because of the conditions. So the way I like to target sunny weather when it comes to bass fishing, there's a couple little ways I like to do it. And the first things first is it all depends on the time of year. If it's a cold time of year, the fish like to relate to the rocks, something that'll warm them up. You got to think like a human. If it's cold out and it's sunny, we're gonna go to where the sun's at, not the shade. Same thing for the fish. If it's early in the year and it's really cold and the water temp's cold, the fish are gonna want to be around rock. They're gonna want to be around even wood, grass, stuff that holds a little more heat than just laying in the middle of nowhere. If they can relate to something, it holds a little more heat than something that would bare bank that doesn't hold anything for the fish. So if it's a hot time of year, the fish like to relate to the shade, something that'll keep them a little cooler than just sitting in the middle of the sun. Same thing for us. If it's hot outside, we like to relate to the shade instead of just sitting out in the middle of the sun. Same thing for the fish. They like to relate to a dock, to a tree, to a brush pile, to a shade, under a tree on the bank. Anything that can hold shade, anything that can give them a couple degrees cooler water than just roaming around where the water may be 90 degrees instead of 87 degrees. That's all it takes for a bass to be in a certain area or a certain place. Now, when it comes to cloudy fishing, that there's a little different, and it's honestly a little more tricky. I like fishing sunny conditions more personally because I just feel like it positions the fish a lot more than cloudy conditions. But at the same time, cloudy conditions can be a very good day of fishing if you get on the right pattern. And a couple ways that I like to target that, and when it comes to a cloudy day of fishing, is instincts. That's kind of when instincts kicked in. It's when I learned to fish cloudy conditions, because if it's cold, if it's in the cold time of year and it's cloudy and rainy, there's nowhere for those fish to get, to warm up a little bit. They'll still be around those places that keep them cooler. For example, rocks, grass, trees, docks, anything like that. They'll still be around, but it won't be as easy to predict, where they're at. Now, if it's a hot time of year and it's a cloudy day, those fish are not going to always be around that shade because there's not really going to be any shade. They're not going to be around, they're not going to be under those docks or inside those brush piles, but they'll be around them. They'll be on the outskirts. So those are the kind of days I like to personally cover way more water than what I do on sunny days. On cloudy days, those fish are out roaming more. They're roaming down the banks. They're roaming around the brush piles. They're not really set up in them, but those can be fun days of fishing. If you pull up on a brush pile and it's a cloudy day and it's 95 degrees out, and you pull up on your brush pile and you're not really seeing those fish, that doesn't mean give up on it. Look to the sides of them, look behind them, look around them. Those fish will be scattered out instead of up in that brush pile hiding. Now, if that sun comes out, those fish will start easing back in that brush pile. Same thing for the bank. If that sun comes out, those fish they'll be in a little more predictable place. They'll be in shade pockets. They'll be under the docks again. But like I said, if it's cloudy, those fish are more scattered out. So that's when I like to personally cover more water. That's when I like to throw a top water, a buzz bait. You can put a buzz bait in your hand that time of year and cover a lot of water. That's my confidence bait, so that's what I like to do. And that's pretty much all I got.